Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back. We're gonna do part 2 of our Shovel Knight playthrough here. Gonna continue on. We're gonna try to get 2 levels in on this one. We're gonna do the Lich Yard and that other level. I'm drawing a blank, but we're gonna do it. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, give a shout out to Mr. By God 1971 there for the 4th month in a row subscription. Much appreciated. Okay. Yep, let's hop into it after we do our after we record our playthrough here. Get that taken care of. We'll hit back to maybe play some Wildlands. Who knows? We'll see where it goes after that. But let's hop right into it. Let's pause these here tunes because old Shovel Knight, kind of a noisy game. Got them retro sounds and everything. So let's, like I said, let's hop right into it, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna try the camera on this side tonight because the last video I recorded, it was on the other side, and I feel like it kind of got in the way. So we're gonna try it. We'll see what happens. We're still in the new stages, experimentations, all them lamentations, any other word that ends with Asians. So let's hop right into it here. Okay. We're definitely gonna choose this profile. Okay, so we left off last. We've got Pridemoor Keep and the Lich Yard to do. But it looks like we still have some music notes to sell. So let's come back here. So the last time we played, we've already upped our magic, bought the Chaos Orb, and did all that good stuff. Got the health upgrade. So let's go straight to Pridemoor Keep first. We'll do that one first. Every time I play this through, I always do that. So this is your basic, like your first, if you play it in this order, this level is going to be, I don't know, your first, like, kind of test you level to see how you handle different environments as far as finding, you know, all the secret rooms. And like I said in part 1, all of your artifacts and stuff that you find are definitely in the later levels like these. So we're gonna definitely explore this level and find it. The way we don't have to spend an ungodly amount of treasure to get them, like I did in a previous playthrough that we won't mention. Anyways, so you start to see new enemies here as well. You see the little, the flying rats, I like to call them. And they're the easiest to kill, but yet the most annoying enemies in the game, in my opinion. Because when you get in areas like this, see, they're like super hard to hit. So, of course, you get stuck trying to do things of that nature. Now the Chaos Orb, there, we'll show you how that works. See, it hits as long as it's available and alive in the area. It will continuously hit enemies like that. So as I mentioned in part 1, some of the continues, we're not going to break this. You can actually break some of your checkpoints, and if you jump on them or hit them, you see it cracks. You can break them, get more treasure out of them, all that stuff. So we're not going to do that. We're going to keep the checkpoints just in case we die. It would be cool to do like a hardcore playthrough and break all the checkpoints. So these guys are kind of annoying. I mean, as you can see, they have shields. So if you just time your strikes, I mean, come on. You can easily get them. Now with this, you got to pay attention to some areas, because see, like that right there, you needed that enemy in order to be able to bounce to get there. So next checkpoint, Now, of course, the chandeliers, I mean, typical anybody that's played an old school platformer would understand that the chandeliers are, of course, going to fall if you know, run under them, because, I mean, who hasn't done that, right? I mean, come on. Come on. So we're gonna run. Now we're gonna use this one to hop up here, get the treasure. Treasure. Okay. So as you notice that, hey, what's that over there? Well, that looks like a silhouette of Shovel Knight. Let's go check it out and see what it is. If you stand here, lo and behold. So like this one. This is Chester. And this is where you find your artifacts. And you get them way cheaper, like I said in part 1, you get them way cheaper if you find him in the levels versus going back to the village and buying them. So we're definitely going to buy the fire wand because that's just an essential that you just have to have. Alright, so let's just come over here. And one of the cool things I'll show you right here, actually, the wizards, you can deflect their attacks back at them. Kind of an old Zelda gimmick for those of you that's played any of the older Zeldas. What's going on, Raptor? What's happening tonight? Not much, man. We're doing a quick recording of my Shovel Knight playthrough that I'm uploading to the tubes of you. Very grateful for you stopping by. Much appreciated. Let's hop back down here real quick. Oh, I just messed up. So we're gonna come back. Gotta make those respawn. Actually, I don't think they will respawn. Nope. So we gotta go this way now. Not that there's much out that way, but like I said, you always want to definitely check your corners in this game for treasure, artifacts, like I said. So now this is where you're introduced to a new enemy. These griffins, and they are rather annoying, but if you kind of keep an eye on where, of course, their flame trail goes, you can kind of stand in it and, of course, not be hit and totally cheese it like I'm doing. But I get impatient at times and just want to kill it and go on. Yep, more rat dudes. Now the cool thing about these, if you'll notice, they're stacked. Oh, look at that. Some epic, epic little shovel jumps there. Your brother has Xbox One? Awesome sauce. Whoops. And remember, like I said in part 1, you can see the marks on the walls, so lo and behold, boom, there's a hole in the wall. Get that treasure. And hunting treasure in this game is like one of the most important things you can do, because you have to be able to have treasure in order to upgrade your health, magic. If you happen to maybe miss an artifact in a level, it's like the perfect way, you know, you could still have enough money to buy it if you were to miss it. Hole in the wall. You can still bounce back up here to get that, so always, it's nifty to have that classic platformer knowledge to, you know, kind of look at it and say, okay, well, if I can do this, maybe I can do it this way. Lots of trial and error involved. Fun fact about this game, actually. The first time I ever played this game was a year ago next month, so February of last year. I actually had to have my appendix removed, and I was out of work for like 10 days. So I sat on the couch and played Shovel Knight, and it was awesome. Definitely up there in one of my favorite games, just because, like I said in part 1, I love the way it plays. I love how the graphics, how stunning they are. The soundtrack, of course, won me over. It's just such a captivating visual and audio and all that good stuff experience. Like, even the story, I mean, you know, classic, gotta run through the levels, save the, not necessarily the princess in this one, but the other hero. So once again, Little Griffin. Stream's not loading. That sucks, man. Maybe try refreshing your browser. That could potentially work. Or close the app and load it back up, one of the two. So now what we're getting ready to do, we're actually introduced to our first boss here, King Knight. And, you know, he talks about how he's, you know, better than thou and stuff like that, and how he's rich and all this stuff. So you have to pretty much knock him off that high horse of his. And actually, the Chaos Orb comes in extreme handy for this boss fight. Anytime he's on the ground like that. But unless you're good and can time your shovel leap like that, then he's a piece of cake. Whoops. And I'm out of magic. And that's it. Bosses are super easy if you've played them a bunch and know their tactics. That's one thing about this game. Sometimes it does take some trial and error. You have to replay a level numerous times in order to be able to learn where to jump at or what to attack and all that stuff. Now, like I said in part 1, you go to dream sequences after big events. After small events, you just go to sleep out in the woods and you jump and blah blah blah. Now, always put out your campfire simply because, hey, free treasure. Why not? So with that being completed, what's going to happen now, we're going to get an enemy. If we go and do that, it's actually some extra treasure we can pick up. So we're going to go do that right now. Go and get that out of the way before we can go to the village and get more treasure for that. And most of the time, sometimes the enemies aren't what they seem. Like this one, for instance. It's not the little knight dude with the shield. It's just an area with enemies. Kind of a little mini level. And each time you play through this, it's the exact same level every time. And I just died. Only you can prevent wildfires? Yes. Only Shovel Knight can prevent wildfires. And of course, if you die, it moves around. It's kind of got that Mario 3 feel to it, where you beat a level, something, you know, comes up on the map and makes it harder for you to get to your next destination, which actually, that happens numerous times throughout the game. So it's really nifty to be able to kind of relive a bunch of classic elements in games. Because like I said in part 1, you've got the Mega Man feel, where you have, you know, the 8 different bosses to kill. You've got the map from Mario 3 kind of feel. Apparently, I never played it, but DuckTales for the NES had the whole drop thing. I recognize the drop from Zelda 2. You got the downward thrust ability with your swords. That was always a plus. So yeah. So of course we found music notes, come back, sell them to the bard, all that good stuff. Get money. So now, you always want to visit here if you've got it, the money, to get meal tickets to be able to, of course, build your health up, because it's a platformer, and, you know, anytime you play a platformer, you need as much health as possible. Surprisingly, actually though, not in this game. Health is a benefactor, but when you die, you don't have lives. You just keep losing treasure until you run out. And it can get really annoying. And, you know, all that stuff. So, when you're trying to save up for something and then you end up losing your treasure. So we'll come back and make sure we didn't miss any whatchamacallums. Yeah, we still can buy the fishing rod, and it's not much of nothing. It's more of a secret thing. You can find stuff in crevices and stuff in the levels. We're not going to use it yet. More of a walkthrough than a playthrough. I mean, it's kind of the best of both worlds, you know? Kind of a, hey, watch this, but I'm going to explain it in the same sense. Okay, so we don't have money to buy anything, so we're pretty much set right now. So let's hit the next level, bruh. It's actually possible to ride that all the way to the end of the level. As such. Oh, well, but you get the idea. Cool. So now we're gonna head to the Lich Yard. Now, this level is actually my favorite level of the game, simply because of the backstory behind it. When we get to Spectre Knight's playthrough, you'll kind of get a more of a representation as to why this level means so much to the game. And these little bastards right here, the frog jumpers, there is no specific way that they jump. They're randomly generated to jump at whichever angle, and their electricity is also randomly generated, so you just gotta kind of be careful with them and just hope for the best. And yes, sometimes that will happen. You think, oh yeah, I'm getting health, and then, oh, lo and behold, you're not getting any health. Kind of a middle finger to you for getting your hopes high. Okay. And I really like the soundtrack to this level. Super cool ski. We messed up. Gotta go back. We need him. And we're not gonna be able to do it. So yeah, you need that enemy. Don't knock his head off, because you need that enemy to bounce up there. Totally screwed that up. I suck, I know. So you're kind of introduced to a new enemy here. Kind of like a mini-boss. But they're easy to kill. I mean, they're pretty simple. Pretty simple. The one thing that really gets me about this game is I absolutely love the mechanics. I love the ability to be able to do the you know, the shovel jump like that, to be able to, you could really use that to your advantage as far as getting places, finding things, you know, all that good stuff. And then, you know. You know. You know. And of course, it's just like any other typical platformer. You can't kill the ghosts. You only stun them and they come back. Chaos Orb. For the win. Mark on the wall. Typical. I guess the one thing that really gets me about this game and why I love it so much is because it's... When Yacht Club made this game, they literally took some of the best concepts from older platformers and rolled them up into one game and birthed Shovel Knight. And it's just awesome. Yeah, this part's always really confusing. As you can see, there was the music note there. That was a leap of faith right there. Not gonna lie. Whoopsies. So now you're introduced to these really weighted enemies, and of course, you both have to be on there to move it. You could kill him one of two ways. That's actually, I'm not gonna lie, that's the first time I've ever killed him like that. So. And you can, you know, knock him off to be able to move around. Whoops. Our aim's a little terrible here. You know what? Screw it. And you have to be careful because this is your typical touch one spike and you're dead. You don't lose any health. When I first played this through, I was like, oh, okay, I can jump on the spikes and they won't kill me. It'll just hurt me. Nope. Do a little dance while we're waiting there. Come, come, my little froggy. Come on. I need you. Come over here. Come over here. Come on. Just like that. Like I said, you have to use your enemies as your resource sometimes. So we found Chester. Blah, blah, blah. He's gonna talk about his deals. Blah, blah, blah. What's he got? Phase Locket. I forgot about the Phase Locket. So your Phase Locket is pretty much your typical, oh, I'm gonna go invincible, nothing can hurt me, but in my honest opinion, it doesn't really last long enough. Which, I mean, then that would kind of take the point out of, yeah, you could just pop that and walk through every level, but whatever. Pretty sure there's a bomb in this one. Nope, chicken dinner. Kinda some PUBG humor there, you know. Anyone? No one? Okay, didn't think so. I actually, the first time I did that, I knocked the helmet off in the water and I got so mad. Because then I couldn't figure out how to get back under here. Wablam! Lots of money. So yeah, you have to go down to the middle. These mini-bosses remind me, if anyone's ever played the Ocarina of Time, the lizards you fight in Dodongo's Cavern as Kid Link. That's what these little guys remind me of. Because they're like little short mini-bosses, and they move, and all that jazz. Whoa! This part always makes me nervous because I'm afraid I'm not going to time this jump right. You have to hit that and then, of course, land up here with no light. You see, that's the good thing about your shovel jump. I don't know the exact terminology for it. Ooh, we just about died there. We totally just about died there. Cool. You can always tell when you're at a boss fight too, because there's always health and magic. No, for this fight we're going to focus on the fire rod simply because it's more of an aerial battle. No place for the living mortal, you shall be summoned. Everyone has a time, and we saw with your beloved shield knight. Won't believe talk from phantoms, your very existence is a vile deception. It's full of surprises, she granted life. So that's kind of a foreshadowing right there. The Enchantress granted him new life. Like, you know, you don't know how or why, but you know that she did it. To see, you can kind of just sit here and spam your fire rod, and you get the most benefit out of it. But she actually gets pretty easy. Oh no, I'm out of me magic. I'm out of me magic, mum. And what's cool is if you do run out of magic, he spawns little enemies, and sometimes they will drop your magic bottle so you can go back to your fire rod. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. As you can see, we're almost done with him. Come on. Kablam! You a goner, bruh. Oh, yeah. Spectre Knight is such a good character to play as, too. And once we get there, man, it's such a fun story to play. And you can always tell when you're going into dream sequences like this because the music's different. You always know, okay, I'm at a checkpoint in the game. You know, kind of those thingamadoogers are. Now, once again, like I said in part 1, you save her, but now you have to ward off enemies. And each time, the enemies get harder, but you get an ass load of treasure for every enemy that you kill. And you can die. You can most certainly die. Oh, and I missed her. Nope, I got her. Just in the nick of time. Nothing happens if you miss her, you just... And at the end of certain levels, you get a free meal ticket, so... Alright, so let's head back to the village. Now after clearing that, you see the locks kind of go away. Another portion of the map opens. So now we've got more map to visit, more play. We're gonna go hit this secret little treasure that popped up here first. Auto-scroller, typical. Buttload of treasure, all that good stuff. Dancing, dancing, dancing. If you're good, you can kind of get all this treasure. Sometimes you gotta leave a little bit. Okay, we missed one. Not too bad. Not too bad. Boom, and you always get a ton of treasure out of this. Ton of treasure. Tons. Okay. Now we have a meal ticket. And a music note. Let's head back to our village. Gonna sell these, of course. Gonna talk to him. Blah, blah, blah. All that good stuff. That's some crazy looking food, just saying. So before we buy another meal ticket, let's increase our magic. I always want to kind of be more on the magic side. Oh, we don't have enough. Okay. Well, one last thing. Let's check Chester just to make sure we didn't miss any artifacts, which we didn't, but we always want to check. We're going to buy the second Trapple Chalice, though. And in part 3, we will go over the Trapple King and what the potions do. Let's go ahead and buy the fishing rod while we're here. We got the money. Might as well, right? And it tells you what it does. Alright. So that's pretty much that. We've made it through the next 2 levels on the map. Now, in part 3, we'll move on to the middle of the map where we'll meet the newer bosses. We will find the next village where we can start doing our upgrades. We can do our armor upgrade and our shovel upgrade all in one village. We meet another mini boss, all that good stuff. So yep, we'll move on to that in part 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/DigitalClink, or you can catch me on Twitter at DigitalClink, Instagram at DigitalClink, Facebook at DigitalClink. I've pretty much branded the name everywhere I could possibly brand it. Next time, like I said, we'll get into the middle of the map. Feel free to give me a follow, help us grow that channel, get our name out there. Really like what you see, feel free to subscribe, all that good stuff. It would be much appreciated to help the channel grow. And if not, we will see you guys next time for part 3 of the Shovel Knight playthrough. Peace out and cheers.